Hey guys, good morning. For people jumping in, just now jumping in here. Good morning, Jay. Hope you're doing all right, buddy.
This is the show before the show.
Hi, Heather. Hi, Donna. Happy Monday.
The weekend flew by.
Did you get an audience with Eric Saturday? I saw your pictures from the concert.
Oh my gosh. The Cottleville mayor said that Platinum Rock Legends is now the band for Cottleville. It was just mad. Yes. It was definitely PG, but the place was packed. I mean, the weather was nice too, of course, but they were just there about a month ago and people really liked them. So the regular followers came, Cottleville people came out. It was nuts.
Yes, I heard they estimated about 2,500 people.
It was really fun. A lot of fun.
That, of course, in the St. Louis area, St. Charles County, for our listeners around the country. Of course, we broadcast live out of the St. Louis area, do national headlines, national show, but we also hit on some local things as well. Weather was outstanding.
Sure was.
You didn't get close enough to stage, though, did you?
Oh, I always do. And I get up there right with Christy and stuff like that. But I love Frankie's because your ears don't ring for 2 days. When I was there at Brewski's, we were standing right up by the speaker and right by Eric. And for 2 days, I couldn't hardly hear.
Did you get a chance to talk to him at all?
Not as much as normal because he was mobbed. Normally, I can hang out with him and Christy and stuff.
How's
but
Christy?
She's wonderful. Christy is a doll. And so I got to talk to her quite a bit, but literally people were like mobbing Eric and wanting to talk to him. And the little kids were even wanting pictures and stuff. So there really wasn't a whole lot of opportunity like normal to talk to him. Got pictures and send it to him and stuff. But yeah, they're getting to be quite a cult sensation here lately. I mainly got to talk to people I haven't seen in a long time. So that was kind of fun.
Welcome into the show, everybody. Show before the show.
Remember to like the show throughout the show to keep the algorithms up. And also remember to share to a friend. You can share on your page, which is really helpful. But also if there's somebody that you know would like the show, even if they don't, even if they hate the show, whoever it is, send them, like even personally, send it to them in a text and let them hear all the fun stuff that we're doing around here. And remember always to have a backup page. We are on all the platforms today, not seeming to have many glitches at all. And that's rare for a Monday, but we're like rocking and rolling. But always have at least another page as a backup if we go down on one of them. It's usually me who slips up and says something I shouldn't, and then it gets it banned.
No, don't say that. We don't say that.
Oh, yeah, we don't say. See, I already did it. It's the show before the show, and I already started that. We love you, all of you platforms. We love all of you.
Hi, Mary, Annette, Jay, Michelle, Kimberly, Bindi, Angie, Donna, Heather. Yeah, we got everybody jumping in this morning. Thanks for liking, subscribing, sharing the show. Of course, as always, it's a Monday, and of course, it's like 30 stories to get into. Tons of video, tons of fun. Hey, Abe. Yeah, that's funny. Hi, Trisha from the Ozarks.
There she is tuning in, not in a hotel right now.
Let's see here. Elon's new Twitter thing looks very interesting. X. It's now X.
Yes.
That X graphic is, I don't know. It's very tough.
Yes, it
very
is.
hard. Like Joe. Like Pro Joe.
Like Pro Joe. Pro Joe's tough. Don't mess with him.
Tough piece of meat.
Did you get that? Pro Joe's a tough piece of meat.
All recorded.
We're there. Is one of his kids named X?
I think so. I know it's like an initial. I think it might be X.
G.
He's got some interesting named children.
Cindy says Trump's going to jail. If you're for Donald Jackass Trump, you're a bunch of idiots.
Hi, Cindy. How are you?
Jordan is an idiot and needs to go to jail. All opinions are welcome.
They are. We like them all.
Whether you agree or disagree. There are people who think he's going to jail. That's not the first time I've heard that.
I wonder if Cindy's related to somebody else we know.
Angie, I did see the picture. We'll show you Jamie Foxx.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sorry. Pictures, when you take them, they can look different. But man, it does not look like the same guy. So many people are like, clone, because he started to expose some deep state stuff.
Yep.
Hey, Monday, guys. Hey, Jay. All right. Hi, Cindy. Cindy, I still got to bring in my coffee mug. She got me a coffee mug for my birthday. I'll bring it in. Jim Jordan's going to jail for letting things happen back when he was at the college. What? I don't know about that story, Cindy. You can tell me. I mean, send it to me. I'd be shocked, but whatever. You got it. All right, guys. Cancel theshow.com. Vic Faust here, Lizzie. All right, Pro Joe. Let's go ahead. Let's rock. Let's get it started. It's a Monday. Hey guys, welcome in. Welcome into canceltheshow.com. Vic Faust with Lizzie Sparks and Pro Joe. Yeah, this is interesting. Has anybody ever made burner accounts, fake accounts?
Yes. I have not, but I know a lot of people who have.
I think it was Kevin Durant got busted, NBA superstar, for having one. I promise you, I've never had that.
I haven't either.
Never. People have burner phones.
Yes, they certainly do. But
they'll send burner messages so that you can't do that. But I was wondering if it came in regards to. Aaron says, Rubio blew who now? Regarding the headline today. All right.
That's pretty funny.
Melinda says, Cindy, why are you here? Because everybody's welcome. If it really is Cindy.
Right. Cindy looks like she or he is from Oklahoma, but that's all right. We want everybody from everywhere here.
Well, you banned Drew, so
I did ban him. I did ban him, but you know what? We don't ban anyone, really. I mean, this show is cancel this, so we don't want to cancel anyone. But if you talk about just two things, basically being mean to children or murder, we'll give you a warning, and then you're gone. We've only had to do that to one person, and that one person kept pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. And that was all over social media, calling me a big bad meanie. But that's okay. That's okay.
Tough skin.
Yeah, I got tough skin.
You're a tough piece of meat.
I am a tough piece of meat.
Like Pro Joe. Yeah, Cindy says, yep, I'm from Oklahoma, the red state that's going down. That would be interesting. I lived in Oklahoma for 3 years in the Tulsa area. Good place. I like it. Oklahoma's a good spot. Okay. Cindy says Abbott's doing that on the border. Okay, there you go. So we're moving on. Vic Faust here with Lizzie Sparks and Pro Joe. Glad you're joining us. Canceltheshow.com, Monday through Friday, of course, 8 to 10 a.m. Central. And all the time on our website, canceltheshow.com. Lots of material there. All of our material, most of it evergreen. Go in, check out our previous episodes, like, subscribe, share the show. That all helps. It all helps when you go into those individual platforms you like, even if it's a thumbs up. It helps with how the system's going. It helps us get out to all the people that we possibly can. Also, with that being said, check out Instagram. Cancel This Live is it's getting really, really big. Tons of followers. We've only been doing it just over a month, where we really hit it hard with videos, and it's been fantastic. I know Alex put a video on there. Intern Chase has just been kicking total ass with all the videos. Our guests love it. Andrew Bailey, Missouri Attorney General, loved his visit again. We'll be checking up with him again next month. So there you go. We're also planning on having Kelly Mano was a big hit on Friday. She is a content creator, video superstar, social media icon.
Oh, just loved her.
She's
so
super busy.
much.
A lot of stuff going on with her right now. But yes, she wants to come in. She'll be coming in at least once a month, like to get her once a week. We'll see what we can do. We're trying that, but she loved it, loved it, loved it. You guys heard her when she left. Just let me know. Let me know. I'll get in there and do what I can. So we've got that going on. All right. So today, coming up on the show, country music stars coming to the aid of Jason Aldean. I love it. CMT is ready to be the next Bud Light. Step on in. You're the next contestant on Go Woke, Go Broke. We'll have that next episode coming up. Massive superstars getting behind Jason Aldean. I mean, massive, saying, you know what? We're not worried. There's no racism in this song. Give me a break. There's no lyrics in this song. The video is only using video that's been used on TV newscast. So, all right, there you go. Angie says, Vic, are you selling the coffee cups yet? Please. Yes, we've got, that should be coming up in the next week. Fill-in host, Derek Pratt, also taking care of all of the merchandise. He sent us a message. That's getting close. We'll let you know what's going on with that. Also, no surprise here, Americans losing faith in the FBI, government, and police. Liberals don't trust police. Republicans don't trust government and the FBI. So go figure. Hey, there's something for everybody.
That's right. Very untrusting, no matter which side you're on.
Marco Rubio, regarding the headline and blowing, he's blowing the top off, not blowing individuals, the top off UFO information. He's on it hard. He's saying that he's got information where this administration is keeping information away from the American public regarding alien life. I know. Angie says, trust no one, Vic. I know. I get it. It is very, very difficult to trust anybody. Anthony says, I don't trust fake bacon or turkey. They pass off as bacon. Once again, this is cancelthisshow.com. Your interaction as part of our live podcast is massive. We love it. Whether you're listening in the St. Louis area, in this country, or even in the UK or other parts of this world, chime in if you can. For our listeners who catch this non-live, they enjoyed as well. And we'd love it when you get in part of this. Like, subscribe, share the show. As always, we've got all those things coming up. We've got a ton of videos today. It's a Monday. We're overpacked. But first, please check out our partners. And when we come back from our partners page, who get involved with this, we'll show you how you can like, subscribe, and even share our partners page just so we can show you ad rates. If you know of a company or people that want to get involved with us, just to try it out, you can do that as well. No contracts. We just want you guys to check it out. Our advertisers are enjoying what they're getting. So we'll come back after our partners, and we'll also show you ad rates things, a page that you can go to on our website, cancelthisshow.com, under the partners page, and you can send it out. So we'll be back in just a moment.
House has the largest selection of solid wood with the hottest new styles. Real furniture that's built to last. Like our solid bedrooms, living rooms, and dining from Kincaid. Our volume enables us to save you a lot of money, especially during our solid wood sale. Plus, get free financing, fast free delivery, and free in-home design. So for solid wood, sweet styles, and solid service since 1964, shop over 3 football fields of furniture at Carroll House, because you like nice things.
Hey guys, this is Dr. Mahesh Bhagway. I'm an orthopedic surgeon here in St. Louis for over the last 20 years. I went to Washington University. I got my medical degree at St. Louis University. From local high school athletes, college athletes, weekend warriors, injured workers, and even Cardinal baseball players, I've treated them all. Our practice strives to personalize care with every new patient being seen by me. To find me, contact my staff at drbagwe.com. That's DRBAGWE.com. Hopefully you don't need me, but if you do, you can find me now.
Jonathan, what does make Rockwood so special?
Rockwood, we carbonize it higher than anybody else does. So we're cooking out everything that produces ash, smoke, anything like that. It gives you a lot more control over the temperature, a lot more control over the fire, and it's 100% Missouri product.
All right, where can people get it?
It's at 100-plus locations around St. Louis, any Deerberg, Straub's, meat markets, wine and cheese stores, hardware stores, you name it, we're around St. Louis. Just check the website.
And good charcoal should be able to break apart in your hands like
absolutely,
does,
yeah.
Right?
If you can't break it apart by hand, it's not charcoal yet. It's still wood. They didn't do the job, so make sure it can break apart by hand.
All right, get your Rockwood charcoal.
Marco, wait. What? No response? Hi, I'm Curtis Barks with Complete Auto Body and Repair, offering full service and auto repair to St. Louis and St. Charles. We are looking for someone to say polo. That's right, we are hiring. We want you now. If you would like to work in a well-paying environment, then you owe it to yourself to stop by one of our 6 Complete Auto Body and Repair locations. Will you help me find that missing person? Please call me directly at 636-488-HIRE. That's right, 636-488-4473.
Dad, and service.
Oh yeah, and service.
He fixes cars.
Attention, anyone who served, lived, or worked at Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987. Camp Lejeune's drinking water was dangerously toxic, and base personnel and their families have since suffered cancer and other illnesses. If you or a loved one spent time at Camp Lejeune and were diagnosed with cancer, you may be eligible for significant compensation. Call the Driscoll firm now. Consultations are free, and you won't pay a fee unless we get you the money you deserve. 1-800-805-4800.
Hey guys, welcome back into cancelthisshow.com. I'm Vic Faust with Lizzie Sparks and Projo. It is our Monday edition of the Cancel This Show podcast. Thanks for jumping in with us this morning. We've got about 30 stories we're going to break down. We'll try to get to it all. Thanks again for going to all of our partners. Special thanks to Complete Auto Body Repair, our show sponsor. We are grateful for them. 7 locations throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area. They're looking for jobs and everything. As HR extraordinaire Sandy told us last week, yeah, if you want to wear a suit, if you want to be in the shop, the climate-controlled shop, by the way, you can do that as well. So Complete Auto Body, we're grateful for them. Greenlight Dispensaries, our Weed Wednesday segments. Go to Greenlight. You can go to our website, canceltheshow.com, and you can take one of those little coupons that we show for you right there. Download it. Take it in. Get a discount on your products when you go in there. We appreciate it. Of course, Dr. Mahesh Bagwe, there's no better orthopedic to go to than Dr. Mahesh Bagwe. You can learn more about him on the site. Of course, Experience Realty Partners in New Age. Kathy Hobig Strick, Steve Strick. You can check them out on our website as well. We've got lots of information regarding what they do as well. So, and of course, Strategic Air Services, if you want to fly private. They're always looking for jobs. Second shift operator here too. Fantastic place to work. Doesn't get much better than that. Lots of people, lots of organizations jumping in. We're grateful for everybody who's doing what they can do with us from that standpoint. Also, we want to get in and show you this now. We have ad rates that we want to put out to you guys. A lot of people are afraid to put ad rates out there. You know, oh, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do this. If you go to cancelthisshow.com and go to our partners page and you click on where we're showing you right now, view the packages, the sponsor packages, you can see what it takes to be a part of this show. If you know of local businesses throughout the St. Louis area, national businesses, because we have a national base, of the 250,000 audience reach we had last month, about 50% of that's throughout the St. Louis area. The other 50%, Missouri, Illinois, and around the country. So if you click on that, it'll show you our ad rates. Correct, Joe? If you click on that spot, can you go ahead and click on that? So
yeah,
if you click,
I'm on it right now.
Oh, okay. I didn't see it. Sorry. It's not up on my page. My fault, buddy. We'll just wait for those ad rates to pop up. When they pop up.
Oh, that's weird. It's not showing up. Okay. Give me a second.
Okay. You got it. So anyway, we're grateful when you guys do that. Thanks for jumping in, doing whatever you can. You can go through these. Now you can start, and these are, if you go in there and check it out, we have a little bit of information about the show. Then if you scroll down, you can also see what you get for those certain packages per month. There's a $500 package, $1,000 package, and a $2,000 package. And then, of course, you get taped ads, and then you get live reads coming from me. And we can explain to you right there why you'd want to sponsor podcasting as opposed to radio and TV. And it makes sense. And we show you our ratings. I mean, it's literally right there. It's not a guess. We show it to you. The information is fantastic. It's direct. It's right there for you. There's no guessing. Not like you do in other forms of media. So that's why we love what we do. It is the future, and we're grateful that we have this coming up. We're also going to have another opportunity. So if you know of people or businesses that want to support what we do or jump in for what we do, we're grateful. Bring them in, contact us, please, through our website, and we will get those things done. Vic at cancelthisshow.com, Vic at cancelthisshow.com, Vic at cancelthisshow.com, or you can click there. Lizzie, do you have a better email to use? Or
if they don't get a hold of Vic, they can do one of two things as well. You can DM me on my Facebook, and you can also go to Lizzie at cancelthisshow.com.
And we don't have Joe's camera up yet. Now, we have the capability of having your camera up, right? I see one looking right at you.
We have a camera. We just need some other form, another laptop.
Okay, well, we get that other laptop over there in because we want to see you.
Oh, yeah, everybody just wants to see.
Yes, because as you said, he is a great specimen, a great piece of meat.
This is Pro Joe right there, his picture showing. so you get an idea.
I like that. That's your AI version.
It looks good.
It does look good.
It does look good. It looks like you.
You know, one thing, Vic, that you didn't say is that there's some people that want certain things that aren't exactly on there. We can customize what they want to do. We can come on your site and do something with you. And also, if there's a budget that you have that you don't see on here, there's things that we can work around too. And that's the great thing about podcasting.
Let us know who your chiropractor is, Lisa. That would be fantastic. Made for video. Great.
Yeah, Lisa sent it to me. So
okay.
I got that.
All right. That would be fantastic. Thank you, Lisa. We appreciate that so much. All right, here we go. Moving forward on this Monday, I can't even believe all the stories that we got, but I love this because, once again, this is cancelthisshow.com. Jason Aldean came out with a song, Try That in a Small Town. CMT tried to cancel him. Okay, CMT is going woke, going broke, and that's what happens. There was no reason for CMT to ban his video and to make some big deal out of it. If you look at the lyrics, there's nothing racist about his lyrics. He's not calling out any races. Nothing, nada. It's not happening. CMT decides to jump in. How dare you do this? Sheryl Crow, I'm from a small town. I can't stand this kind of stuff. Okay. Sheryl, thank you. You went mainstream a long time ago. I think Cheryl's a super talented woman, super talented. And she's also a University of Missouri graduate like myself. I don't know why she jumped in. Well, all these people tried to jump on Jason Aldean because he put together this song. And it's interesting too, because the lead singer of Rascal Flatts, I can't remember his name. He's solo now. He was on Fox and Friends doing an interview, and he's like, man, I wished I could have done that. He's like, I tried to do the song, but Jason beat me to it. Well, here was, Jason Aldean's, I think this came out the end of last week, Friday night. Here's his response to cancel culture.
Everybody having fun so far tonight? Well, I gotta tell you guys, man, it's been a long ass week. It's been a long week, and I've seen a lot of stuff. I've seen a lot of stuff suggesting I'm this, suggesting I'm that. Hey, here's the thing. Here's one thing I feel like everybody's entitled to their opinion. You can think something all you want to, it doesn't mean it's true, right? So, what I am is a proud American. I'm proud to be from here. I love our country. I want to see it restored to what it once was before all this bullshit started happening to us. I love my country, I love my family, and I will do anything to protect that. I can tell you that right now. But here's what I want to say. A lot of things out there And one thing I love, you guys know how it is this day and age, cancel culture is a thing. That's something that if people don't like what you say, they try and make sure that they can cancel you, which means try and ruin your life, ruin everything. One thing I saw this week was a bunch of country music fans that could see through a lot of the bullshit, all right?
Seeing who?
I saw country music fans rally like I've never seen before, and it was pretty badass to watch, I gotta say. Thank you guys so much.
I love the dude. Love what
me
Jason.
too.
Listen, if he would have come out saying things against races and society, he's entitled to his opinion, I wouldn't back him. I wouldn't. But damn, there's nothing wrong with that song. Nothing at all. Nothing wrong with the song. So he comes out. He has CMT and ultra cult cancel culture coming after him. Guess what? His good buddies come to his rescue. They're like,
they sure did.
We're not worried.
No,
We're not worried. Step on up, Luke Bryan, one of the top superstars, if not ever in country music, certainly these days. He says, I back my friend, Jason Aldean. There's nothing wrong with the song. So Luke Bryan says, you know what? I'm pulling my videos from CMT.
Right. And you can find
Go
proof
woke,
of that.
go broke, CMT.
Mm-hmm. But if you go to Snopes, they say that's not true. But I found out during
It's true.
It is true. No, it is true. But you know that people go to Snopes or whatever that word is, and that now is
They shouldn't
the
go
lie.
there.
No,
Don't
they shouldn't
don't
go there. You should not go there.
Those are the kids in the basement or the college
Correct,
rooms on the college campuses deciding what's right, what's wrong.
Yes. Yes.
So major props to Luke. I've been to 2 of his concerts. But that wasn't it. Step on up, Mr. Superstar, Blake Shelton.
Yes.
Yes. It doesn't get any bigger than Blake either these days. Blake says, not going to cancel my friend.
And his ex-wife, too.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
She came out as well. Miranda?
She sure did.
Miranda Lambert?
She did. She didn't say as big of a statement, but there is proof that she came out and said that, too. Isn't that funny? There's a whole list of them.
Well, not only then Blake Shelton. So Luke Bryan pulls his videos. Then on top of that, this is great. Blake Shelton cancels a $30 million contract with CMT.
Love that.
Money is a great separator in life of a lot of things.
It is.
It is the root of all evil. There's absolutely no doubt. However, the world goes round and round because of money. Blake Shelton, I know he's got a lot of it, but come on, $30 million is nothing to sneeze at. And he goes, you know what? Screw you, CMT. I'm not going to do this project. So the $30 million project they were going to work together on, he's like, So he took that money right out of it.
Love it.
Boom. So Luke Bryan, Blake Shelton stepping in for Jason Aldean. Cancel culture will die a fast, quick death if people aren't afraid to speak up and just be normal, be direct about it. The guy did nothing wrong. Stop looking for a way to be offended. Stop looking for something to just throw out there to create crap. Most of America doesn't care.
They don't.
Just leave people alone. Let them go about their business. If you like it, great. If you don't, you don't. And then you move forward.
Correct.
But for some people, and I've learned this, they just want to poke. They want to stab in the back. They just want to look for a reason to tear you down. And Jason Aldean did absolutely nothing wrong.
And you look at the lyrics, and if you actually listen to the song and break everything down, there's nothing racist.
Which we did on a previous podcast.
We did, and it's just great. But then what about those rap songs? You break those down, and nobody says anything about that.
And it's bad.
It is bad. It's bad.
20 times worse than
for sure.
Jason Aldean's song. And it's just sad when you have people. I mean, I know people are always looking for a way to become relevant. If you were relevant at one point in time, you remember what it was like to be relevant. And I'm sure that's why people jump in and start saying all the things that they're saying. Just leave the guy alone.
Right. And that's the thing with the cancel culture is once you feel like you were relevant and then you're not, you use social media or whatever to try to bring people down. But it backfired on all of these other country singers that didn't back him and all of the stars. This is really great because
And just be careful, like you said, of Snopes. Just be careful.
Yes, be careful. I just wanted to bring that up because one of the listeners said, yeah, but Snopes said, I'm like, I learned during the pandemic, they're very far left. So don't believe anything that you say.
Yeah, from the get-go, they have been. It's just unfortunate that these situations still occur. And by the way, we told you last week, his song became #1 on iTunes. And don't think for a second, and don't doubt the power of country music as well, because as my son told me yesterday, Morgan Wallen has a song that's #1 on all of Billboard right now.
Yes.
That's all genres. And then #2 is another country song. And it's Luke Combs. Luke Combs has the #2 song. And it's interesting because both Morgan Wallen and Luke Combs in back-to-back weeks recently were in the St. Louis area for concerts.
Yes, there's got to be something.
And Jason Aldean's coming in September.
Yes, I'm going to be there, by the way.
That's going to sell out fast.
Yes, I'm very excited. One of the listeners had tickets, and she's like, do you want to go? And I'm like, yeah, I so do.
So you already got your tickets?
Yeah, Terry, who's a listener of the show, is taking me.
Good
so
for
I'm very
you.
excited. Very excited.
Do you know what the date is on that?
It's September or something.
Well, to each their own. Jay says country's still awful. I disagree. Everybody has their own opinion in life. That's what it is in this day and age. I mean, I know massive country music fans that hate new country and new country fans that hate old country. And, and then people who don't like country, but guess what? Somebody likes country because it's #1 all around this country.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Country is #1 around the country. Go figure. And you start to see some of these things that happen. Morgan Wallen rebounded after a couple years.
Yeah.
And then now, there it is, September 15th.
Oh, Aaron says September the 15th, their anniversary. And then they're going to the concert for their
allegedly they are. Good for them.
Yeah.
Way to rock and roll, Jason Aldean.
That's
packing venues everywhere he goes now. Although it is interesting, I've got to... Yeah, and and of course I've heard people posting and saw people posting over the weekend. Well, it's a bad song. You like the song.
I do like the song. I do. But I like Jason Aldean too. I like his voice.
I've heard liberals saying that he's just trying to be relevant.
That Jason Aldean's trying to be relevant?
that's why he did a song like that.
Well, it was supposed to be, I can't remember, it was supposed to be somebody else's song, and then they didn't do it, and now they wish they had, and maybe Jason's wanting to be relevant. If you're a star, you want to be relevant, I guess, but no, I don't think that's why he did it.
I wonder if they're even going to stock Bud Light at Hollywood that night.
I bet they don't.
Bodecker. That's a great line. I guess they're not selling much Bud Light at his concerts.
Yeah, I bet not.
Probably not, but the 10 people who might go see Garth Brooks will get their Bud Light.
That's exactly right. And I won't go to Garth Brooks. I won't go to his concert.
Yeah, it is what it is. I love Chris Stapleton. That coming from Lisa. Yeah, there's a lot of really good country artists, in my humble opinion, as well. Ginny says, yeah, he's already relevant. Exactly. I agree with you from that standpoint.
I was thinking the same thing. And you got to keep in mind who his haters are. I mean, like, I don't watch it, but one of the listeners sent me a clip of Whoopi Goldberg just going off on Jason Aldean. And it's very funny because when she's going off, what she says is okay is that the BLM movement was good and it was fine because their cities were protected by BLM. And I'm like, lady, does it not, fall?
When do we have our guest so don't we have a guest coming up this week?
We do. We have our guest. Lori Johnson is coming on tomorrow in the 9:00 hour. And she's talking about being shot in a mass murder situation right on the highway from somebody that had just come back from a BLM riot. Yes.
Yeah, we'll set the stage on that tomorrow. That's in our 9:00 hour, correct?
Yes, in the 9:00 hour. She's coming. Her scheduled time is 9:15.
Damn.
It's quite a story. I mean, it gives you goosebumps. You can't even believe. And she's got a lot of great things to say. But I mean, that woman went through hell. And she was just going down visiting her daughter and coming back and just driving in a car and boom, gets shot through the window. And so it was crazy.
And by the way, Sonny Liston, who is a anchor host on The View, had to read a legal statement because they weren't fair to Jason Aldean. I just want to let you know that. Not going to give her any more attention than what she already gets on The View for those few who watch. However, she tried to play it off, read it very sarcastically, but they were forced by their legal department to give Jason Aldean's response after they tried to eviscerate him. So there is hope in this world, and especially when you get lawyers involved. Now, the good thing is the fact that he and his department had enough money, and their attorneys went after The View. So The View had to read Jason Aldean's response to what they said. Love it. You can look it up. We're not going to do that on this podcast, but absolutely beautiful moment. The best thing I've ever seen on The View.
Yeah, that's great. I didn't see that. I wish I had seen that part of it.
But it's about America. Give us a break. We know there are massive issues in this country, and it doesn't help when you have people who are doing that, which leads us to another story. I did not, like we try to call it out, especially with the canceling. I didn't have a problem with this, but maybe Vic needs to get a little bit more patriotic. We're going to show you the Team USA from their opening game that they had this past weekend. They were standing out on the field, the starters, for the national anthem. Many people went after them this weekend. Hey, would I love to see all of them with their hands on their hearts? Would I love to see all of them singing the song, singing our national anthem? Yeah, I think it would be great. When I hear the national anthem, I put my hand on my heart. But I don't always sing the words. Am I bad? Maybe. If that's bad and I need to sing the words, I will.
I don't know that that's bad, but they just looked so weak compared to the Vietnamese that were like, woo, about their country. We see that now that
you're right.
And we just stood there like, and you know that there's America haters on there. And so just because they just
What do you mean America haters? You mean on the women's team?
They're representing the USA.
Correct.
And you're saying that there's haters on the team.
I do say that I'm not going to mention names, but you can look it up.
Well,
there's America haters on the U.S. team.
I guess you would consider veteran Megan Rapinoe one of them.
Oh my God, she is so rude. She hates this country. She's everything a woman in America should not be, in my opinion. And so I think that they do not make America look great when they go over to other countries and they just stand there.
No,
I'm not saying you have to sing. I get that. People don't. But when you look at the Vietnamese team and they are just so pro their country and we just stand there like, oh, yeah.
And in all fairness, I've seen like a World Series where, they're playing the national anthem at the beginning and not all the players, maybe they get their hand on their heart, but they're not all singing the words.
True.
So what's your point with that? That's kind of...
In all fairness, not every athlete sings along with the national anthem.
That's why I wasn't, when I first saw this, I heard all this hype. I'm like, okay, I missed the opening of the game. I saw the game. They weren't great. I mean, they barely got past Vietnam. Hopefully they get better. But then I watched the video and I'm like, well, that's not as bad as I thought, but maybe I need to recheck. Maybe I do.
Yeah, if you go back,
maybe I should be singing loudly as I have my hand on my heart.
Yeah, she does not like this country, and
she's not in this video, but
no, she's not. But she has made a precedent and put pressure on the rest of these young ladies to not act so rah-rah about it. Now, I know there's probably a lot of people there that are also on the team that love America.
Jay says entitled snowflakes.
They are. They actually are. Our listeners are agreeing with me on this, that it is embarrassing when you're supposed to represent your country and you stand there like a bump on the log when the other team is so rah-rah. To me, it's embarrassing.
Well, let's play the
I'm not
video
disagreeing with you, by the way. That's just my observation.
I wasn't like pissed off when I saw it, but maybe that's because that's how I've been conditioned, like other Americans in this country.
You look really nervous to be on camera, too.
They could be, but there's hands in their pockets. There's a few that look like they're emotional about their country. And one girl singing. One. And look how they zoom in on her.
That's a head coach.
God bless that young lady.
She scored a goal, too, I think.
Good for her. Of course she did. Of course she did. I'm with a lot of the listeners. The not singing is not the problem. It's when you don't put your hand over your heart, you don't act proud of your country. And it really is the stark difference between the opposing team.
There were 4 women that you could tell that it did look intentional. I do agree with you.
Yes.
Yeah, when they're
like
standing with their hands behind their back.
Yes, that's a statement that they're making.
I agree.
I agree, Les. Alex Morgan does support, as he says, quote, dudes playing in women's sports, which is sad, but and she's married. She has a daughter. One of her best friends is Megan Rapinoe.
Yes.
But we've already seen, and we've heard stories come from USA Soccer, and basketball especially, if you disagree, if you dare stand up, if you dare put your hand on your heart, if you dare sing the national anthem, if you dare say you don't have a problem with this country or the flag and what it stands for, the peer pressure can also come against you, because women's sports have been taken over at the college level and the professional level by those who don't want to support America, which is sad, but it's a fact.
It is a fact.
And people like Megan Rapinoe pushed that agenda. They pushed that message, and they still come out and say those kinds of things. But hopefully you have some strong enough women who are willing to stand there and do those sorts of things.
Well, and that concerns me with, I have children that are athletes, and I explain this to them. And two of my daughters went to a school that this stuff went on, and there was so much pressure. And it was a private Christian school. So therefore, my youngest one, she's not going back there because there was kneeling. It was during all the BLM things. It like hits me right in the heart.
It's because of weak. It's because of weak
administration. Yes.
Weak coaches.
Yes.
Everybody's afraid. Oh my God, we're going to get canceled.
Correct.
Hey,
correct.
If you want to do something, fine. But the problem comes within your teammates. Then your teammates get a little power, and then they try to come after you, which has nothing to do with on-field play. It can affect team chemistry, and that's what's sad. You're in the United States of America. Support it. If you don't, fine. As people say, then leave.
Then leave.
Don't be selfish. Don't try to force your way upon others. This is the United States of America. And yes, Jay, the national liberal media does support haters because that's what they do. Paul says weak ass parents.
Correct.
It's not easy being a parent. It isn't. And that's where you have to, and then it's not easy to stand your ground. And that's an issue as well. But it was something that came from the weekend. When we get into loving this country and it rolled right into Jason Aldean, we know there's issues in this country.
Well, and you said being a parent is hard. Like, this is not on the same topic, but it's the same concept. We went and saw the Barbie movie this weekend, and the woke agenda that flew through the whole movie.
I've heard this, but I haven't seen the movie.
It's cute if your kid is about maybe 10 or 11, or if you're my age where they have really cute things about Barbies. It's really, really cute. And if you don't understand the message that they're giving you, there is a definite feminist, they even talked about it, feminism, patriarchy, man cave, all of these things, and made it look dumb. They made men look like they're just dolts, like they're just stupid. And so I found it very disturbing. And what I found even more disturbing is half of my kids go, "Oh, Mom, it's not really that big of a deal. I know all those words, but
of course not." But
in all fairness to them too, they were like, "Mom, you taught us to see past those words and just watch the movie for the content."
Yeah, but not good. Most parents I can't say most. There's a lot of parents who can't.
A lot. And their marketing was good. I mean, the one good thing about it was Mattel made the bad guy themselves. And so that was really good. And the marketing of wearing pink and going there and all that was really great. Now, do I think my children who left that movie are now going to be woke because they watched it? No, I don't.
No, but they have a foundation that they have been raised on.
That is
which
true.
is different. Aaron says it's a man-hater movie. Even the opening scene is a metaphor for abortion with kids smashing their baby. That is?
Well, yes. I found that
What
disturbing.
about the transgender movement?
You know what? There wasn't much of that, but at the beginning, they already took babies and they were smashing them, which made my stomach hurt. And I didn't understand that. They either looked like angry young feminists. Yeah, it was like glass dolls that they banged. And if you look at it, the other part, you're like, okay, well, we hate regular baby dolls, and now we're going to go to Barbies instead, if you don't want to look at it, the woke part. So you could take it for face value. And then they made at least 4 references that the pregnant Barbie was discontinued and disturbing. That's the part I thought was worse than smashing the baby dolls. Was being pregnant is not cool, for sure.
Yeah, Jessica, real quick. Yeah, we'll watch whatever link you sent today. We'll say, I don't know what it was, but we'll check that out. Hey, real quick before we get off, and I'm glad you brought up the Barbie movie. I know that this podcast, most people watch it or listen to it after we're live. Show of hands, so to speak. should we be singing the national anthem as well?
Yes, should put that on our chat line.
No, should we?
Yes, I think you should. And here's why I think you should. But I come from a family that almost everybody is a military. The men are in the military.
Because I haven't. I've had my hand on my heart all the time, but I
think you might find somebody that had served in a war might find you disrespectful if they didn't. They saw friends died and we can't even open our mouths and sing. So, I mean, I'm all about singing and putting your hand
Nobody
over
wants to hear anybody. Well, nobody wants to hear me sing. However, if
just
we're
move your mouth.
If we're reciting the Pledge of Allegiance, yes, you should be singing or stating along. However, I don't think it's necessary. Let the person who's actually singing the national anthem, let them sing it.
That's kind of been my feeling, and I know I don't know if there's a wrong or right. There's just a like.
I don't think it became, and some of the listeners could tell me I'm wrong on this. I didn't think whether you sang or you didn't sing was quite as big of a deal until the kneeling. And then when that came, the very patriotic people were like, sing, damn it, sing. And then the people on the left were like, no, put your hands behind your back and don't say a word. I think that's, at least in my lifetime, is where I saw the shift happen. I still think they thought it was rude if you kept your hat on and didn't put your hand over your heart. But people became very angry if you didn't sing during the BLM kneeling business.
Well, you get comfortable with things in life. As we said, a friend of mine who we're going to have on the show in times to come, he grew up in Georgia, which was a Russian a Russian area. They declared their independence in the 90s. He said, and he loves America, but he recently told me it's just a matter of time before America falls, whatever falls means, because it was a quote that just blew my mind. And I thought about it and I'm like, oh my God, you're right. And I'll explain it in a second. He says from what he has seen and growing up with communist Soviet Union and hating everything about communist Russia, he said, but what he sees and what they see with America is, he says, democracy kills democracy.
Correct. And that was in the Barbie movie. They said almost
what?
That. Well, they talked about democracy. And one of the kids said something similar to that. And that's when my son-in-law and I bristled. We're like, first of all, we're a republic, but they were talking about the democracy. And and if we keep letting movies be like that and we don't teach right and wrong, he's not wrong.
Because the comfort level.
Correct.
It's that, hey, well, we should get this. Well, we're going to get that. We can do whatever we want. We'll just keep doing this and doing that. And everything's going to be fine because everything gets comfortable. As we've talked about, with every world power eventually fading away, you lose your respect of country. You lose that sense of nationalism. You lose that love of the red, white, and blue. Things are easy. Things are comfortable. Things are given to you, and you take it for granted.
Yes.
And then when you're sitting back enjoying life and not worried about everything that made this country what it is, and you better believe that people want to tear you down when you're on top. That goes for your country. It goes for you as an individual. It goes for you in business, which is why I have learned you don't talk about your plans. Just do it, because most people are not going to be excited for you. They're going to want to tear you down somehow, some way.
That is true.
And that's on the same level when it comes to our nation regarding the world. People don't want to see you do well. It's human nature. It sucks. It's the good versus evil battle that we talk about. So with that being said, I went, holy crap, you're right. Democracy kills democracy, and it's sad. And then I hate to hear about things like this when you say, well, we get comfortable and, maybe we don't. But my hand will always be in my heart. I don't know if I'm going to be singing, but I don't also want to be standing for national anthems with my hand on my heart and looking at people and getting angry at people.
Right. I agree
if they
with
don't
that.
have their hand on their heart and going, well, crap. Now we're all getting angry. I mean, it's just a very interesting thing to wade through right now, at least in my opinion.
That's true, because we're angry about everything, even angry. I don't get mad if somebody doesn't sing. I don't. But if they put their hand over their heart and seem reverent, that's great. But you're right. I didn't think as much of it till the BLM kneeling business, and now I got angry about it. And so the big thing is whoever they is, wants us divided on every issue.
I can't believe there was something about that in the Barbie movie.
Yeah, there was a lot of it.
What was your opinion about democracy? Because it's all intertwined in our first hour of the podcast.
Well, there was definitely an agenda there. There was definitely, and I don't want to use the word woke because I think that is just so overdone, just like the word racism, but it was definitely a person that designed the movie wanted Barbie to look cool. And I liked that part of it. But there was an agenda about feminism. And I thought they made men look absolutely stupid.
Well, that sucks.
Except for at the end, they said, I don't want to say too much if you're going to go see it, but I don't know if too many people here are going to go see it. But then at the end, they wanted everybody to be okay. And that part I was fine. And then...
What do you mean at the end they wanted everybody to be okay?
Well, they were making fun of everybody during the movie. And Ken was made to look like either a hardcore sissy, or then all of a sudden a guy that lives in a man cave and scratches himself and all that kind of stuff. So then they made him look like he was a chauvinist. So he went from a sissy feminist to a badass right-wing person that scratches himself and doesn't let women into his man cave and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it was crazy. But then at the end, poor Ken starts to cry. And so then they made him wear a shirt that was a rainbow shirt that says, I'm Ken enough. Like, I'm enough. So, I literally, when we walked out, some of my daughters were like, oh, that was so cute, Barbie. And then my son-in-law walked out so freaking pissed. It was, and so we had to all regather and go, okay, what was good about this? What was bad about this? Because there was definitely an agenda there.
They've been brilliant with their marketing of getting people to wear pink and taking pictures outside and having pink Barbie parties because Barbie has been an iconic brand since all of us have been alive.
It was well done for the cinema part of it. They did a great job bringing it from cartoonish to real life and back. That part of it, if they would take the woke stuff out of it, it would have been a very cute movie. I don't know if men would like it really. Maybe I'm being sexist myself, but I didn't hate it. It was a good teachable moment. That's why I tell parents, you can take your kids to woke movies, but then make them a teachable moment.
Yeah, it's got to be. Did it bash America? And by the way, hey, Joe, when you get a chance, can you pull up the Toby Keith video when you get a chance? It's in there. I loved it. And if you can't find it, just let me know. So, but it wasn't against America.
No,
right?
I didn't think it was against America, but they use wrong terminology. They used it wrong, patriarchy in wrong ways, feminism in wrong ways.
But most Americans don't get it.
They don't get it.
I don't care if you're 16 or 60.
Correct. And they talked about democracy in a sentence that should have been, republic and that sort of thing. It was just, you can just tell they didn't even know what they were talking about, or it was purposeful. I don't know. I don't know what their brain is.
It's kind of turned into, America and how we are in this country. I saw this video over the weekend. I loved it. Have you seen this yet?
No,
Lizzie?
I don't. No, I've not seen this one.
Toby Keith, one of my favorite songs ever, talks about giving you just spine chills.
Yeah, I love that guy.
Brought to you courtesy of the red, white, and blue. Now, he's battled some health issues. He almost died. He's trying to get healthy. This is a karaoke cab that shoots out speakers, and you got Toby Keith in the back seat singing this song. If I heard him singing, even though he wasn't all into it, and he's doing his best, talk about loving America and getting you excited. Check out this video.
Put a boot in your ass, it's the American way. Hey, understand, what's your name? Top of his list and the Statue of Liberty started getting real pissed, and the eagle will fly, and it's gonna be hell when you hear Mother Freedom start ringing her bell. It'll feel like the whole wide world is raining down on you. Brought to you courtesy
How cool is that?
That's way cool. That is way cool.
Imagine Toby Keith coming down your street singing Red, White, and Blue.
Oh, I would love it. I would love it. My husband, during the 4th of July, plays that song every year because he loves the part about, having a boot up your ass. I mean, it is so cool. Love it. Love
he doesn't
it.
love the boot up his ass. He wants to put his boot up people's.
Well, that's right. He doesn't want to put up his own ass. No, he just wants, Americans to put, foreign entities that want to hurt us.
No, that it is a great song. And once again, it just gets into that whole America, America, America first. There's nothing wrong with wanting the best for this country.
Correct.
There's nothing wrong with having pride. There's nothing wrong with our flag. There's nothing wrong with nationalism. There's nothing wrong with singing the national anthem and having your hand in your heart, which kind of started out this whole hour. There is something wrong with standing there with mean looks on your face.
Yes.
Without an ability to put your hand on your heart.
Correct.
Okay. If you don't put your hand, that's intentional. If you don't want to sing,
don't sing, but
to not even have your hand on your heart when you see what women and men from other countries are doing.
Correct.
Very, 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 very sad. So yeah, I was sad about that. And you could tell some of the women who were angry. I tried to get over the fact maybe they're just focused in the moment. They're intense because this is super, super tough battle. But
And that could be true. I mean, what you're saying, maybe they were just nervous and didn't even think about it and don't, they're younger, don't understand the importance. But that is something that the coach, in my opinion, should have said, we're on the national or the international stage. And then when we're on the national stage, we need to have America pride. And even if they're not even thinking about it in our terms, that people died for us, why aren't you want to be like, rah, rah, your team? So say if you're the Cougars against, say, the Saints, you want to be, yay, Cougars. The same thing. Why not, yay, America?
Well, we still believe on canceltheshow.com. I know I do, Lizzie does, Joe does, and guests that we've had here, that America has changed not because of a large majority of people, but because of a loud, silent minority. And it only takes one or two people to do certain things. But the demographics of the country have started to change.
Yes.
And you look at all the illegals that have been allowed into this country, not going about it the correct way, not coming into this country from a legal standpoint. We're going to show you a video in just a second of, hundreds of illegals coming in. Now, these are what are called CBP-1 entries that can come in on foot, and they are not coming in legally. And the sad thing is now, it's guesstimated that the amount of illegal aliens that have come into this country just in the few years that Joe Biden has been in office is more than the population of several states.
Yes, like 3. I saw the article said
3 to
5.
3 to 5.
3 to 5, yeah.
And then you wonder why America's changing, because people don't value what this country is about.
Correct.
They don't know. It's just like, let's change the whole concept of America. And I'm just going to tell you, Missouri looks a lot different than California. Missouri looks a lot different
for sure.
than other states, Arizona, New Mexico, around the country. It does. I was talking to somebody from California over the weekend, and she lives in Los Angeles, but she's like, well, you can't even go certain places. She's like, it's that whole homelessness issue. She's like, it looks like a different country. And I'm like, my gosh, it's crazy. Look at some video here. This is Ben Bergquam, and give him credit. He was shooting the video and doing this report.
Trail up the line there. Those are all CBP-1 entries right now going into America. Joe Biden did that. That's happening right now as we speak. Tijuana, Mexico. Almost every port of entry across our border being let in because of Joe Biden and Secretary Marcus. They're lying to you.
Yeah, and news also, Merrick Garland is now, we'll get into that coming up, but Mayorkas says there's no issues at the border.
What a liar.
we continue to be told there's no issues anywhere on the border. It's all good until we talk to John Rourke with Operation Cleanup, friend of the show, who's been to the border 11 times just in the last 2.5 years to do cleanup, former military, saying, yeah, this is a massive bad issue.
I don't see any issues. They're getting in just fine.
Yeah,
right. That's exactly what they're saying. Well, and John Rourke made very articulate what we know is going on here. I do agree that the Midwest states look different than, say, well, even Chicago looks different than, say, a lot of the flyover states. But what is happening, and he's shedding light about that, is once they come over the border, all different nationalities, they get a bus or a plane, and they'll yell out Detroit, St. Louis, Miami, or wherever, Seattle, or wherever, and they get to choose. Now, they might not even know what that is, but they get to get on a bus, and then they fly them during the night or drive them during the night. And I've had friends that have come in at the airport and have seen it right here in the St. Louis metropolitan area, getting out in droves and droves. We're not talking about 10 or 20. We're talking about hundreds each time they come in.
And it's another issue why people are starting to speak up. They are. Joe, when you find the Joe Biden chant, that would be really cool to show. It just gives an idea. You've got to speak up.
You do.
You got to say what you can say. You got to do what you can do. From over the weekend, Joe Biden, when he was giving a speech, just listen to what he had to do. He was so confused. He had no idea what to do. And before we get to that, Jessica says, yeah, Austin is awful. And that's terrible because it was one of the coolest cities I'd ever been to about 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Here's Joe Biden, courtesy from C-SPAN.
Many things is proof that despite the naysayers, we can make meaningful progress on dealing with gun violence. Because make no mistake, sit down, you'll hear what I have to say. You think you many things.
It looks like
proof that despite the naysayers, we can make meaningful progress
that he just
on dealing with gun violence.
Yeah, just we'll watch it again.
Make no mistake, sit down, you'll hear what I have to say. You think you Joe Biden. Joe Biden. Many things.
He does
it's proof
look
that
like
despite the naysayers, we can make meaningful progress on dealing with gun violence.
Well,
because make no mistake, sit down, you'll hear what I have to say. You think
sit down and you'll have to hear what I say.
Joe Biden. Joe Biden. Joe Biden. Many things.
Yeah, I mean, you got to have if you want to speak up, you have a chance to speak up.
Yeah.
As Jay says, the most corrupt president ever.
Would any of you guys chime in? Like anybody on the chat line, if you were there, would you have chimed in and clapped that? Pro Joe, would you have done that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, I would have.
I mean, it's hard to be mean to somebody, to their, somebody that obviously has no idea what's going on.
No, he doesn't. And he's short-circuited. But it's not even just what he's doing now. If you look at him all these years, I know I would have chimed in. I'm sure I've chimed in one too many times at all these events with that sort of a thing. And, Joe, I know I would chime in. I have a flag at my house that says, "Let's go, Brandon," hanging real high on the pole. So, yeah.
I love it. Hey, guys, what we'll do is we'll take a quick break now, show you our partners. Then we'll come back. We've got so much to get into. Many more videos to show you why the American people have totally lost trust in the FBI, police, and the government. Will give you some of those statistics. New statistics regarding Donald Trump and the rest of the field. This stuff will blow your mind. My God, is he running away with everything right now, which is why the government, deep state left, are trying to associate him with January 6th to try to get him out of the election. We'll talk about what Jim Jordan says they got to do with Merrick Garland. Biden proposing... This is, I get proposing the sale of portable gas. Let's see here. What do they got? We'll get into that story. Sorry about that real quick. Also, the UFO story. This is not going away, people. Marco Rubio is not letting it go away either. So we'll get into that. Plus, do you think and believe in cloning? We've talked about that jokingly. We've talked about it serious. We've talked about body doubles, not only with Biden, but with Donald Trump. The pictures with Jamie Foxx, I just cannot believe these are the same people. I can't for 1 second believe that that's the case. So anyway, we're going to take a quick break. Can I do those right here live then, just instead of going to the commercial break and go?
Yeah, you can do
Yeah, I'd like to do that. So we'll just do that right now. But we wanted to take a moment here to tell you about our partners first. And it all starts with Complete Auto Body and Repair. Show sponsor, love Curtis Sparks and his crew. Lizzie, she takes her cars there. Her family take their cars there. Several of our listeners go to Complete Auto Body Repair. 7 locations throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area. Climate-controlled facilities. They're looking for people to hire. Not only technicians, but if you're somebody that wants to go out and sell, if you're in a suit. We had Sandy Travis on last week talking about what a tremendous company it is to work for. You can go to Complete Auto Body. That's CompleteAB.com. You can let us know if you're looking for any sort of a job, that kind of a situation there. Also, Greenlight Dispensaries. You can go there, download the coupon that's on the screen right now. You can go to our website, canceltheshow.com, download the coupon. You can take it into any of their locations. They're the largest in the state. They give you the best prices and the best selection as well. We do a Weed Wednesday segment with them as well. Kathy Helbig-Strick, Steve Strick, they've got a lot going on. Experience Realty. We do Wednesday segments with them as well. Not only from the realty side in regards to making sure that you're caught up on everything when it comes to your purchase of a home, your selling of a home, your mortgages, but also their new health and wellness business over at New Age. And you can check out New Age Wellness, Kathy and Steve Helbig-Strick. You can catch up with them on Wednesday as well. Dr. Mahesh Bagwe, one of the best orthopedic surgeons you're going to find, WashU educated. He has taken care of 2 of my 3 kids. Ankles. He is the best when it comes to those knees and ankles. He also helped my kids out with their feet. You can go to Dr. Mahesh Bagwe. You can find drmaheshbagwe.com. You can also go to canceltheshow.com and check out everything when it comes to Dr. Bagwe from that standpoint as well. Strategic Air Services. If you're looking to fly private, there's no better place. They're also looking for pilots all the time and a second shift operator. You can learn more about that. You can go to canceltheshow.com. You can click on Strategic Air Services. You can also do that right there. You can email Courtney. That's Courtney with a K. Courtney, KOURTNEY .strategicholdings@gmail.com. So that's Courtney.strategicholdings@gmail.com for more information, or to send a resume for some of the jobs that they have open and some of the jobs that they have going on as well. So we'll certainly keep you posted with everything that's going on from that standpoint. Plus, if you know a company that would like to jump in with us and get advertising and be a part of our show, all you have to do is go to canceltheshow.com and click on our partners page. When you go to our partners page, you can click on sponsorship and how to have those ad rates up. And then we'll show you those packages. There's one that's $500, $1,000, and $2,000 a month. There are no contracts. We want it to work for you. We can also share all of our data with you when it comes to the kind of viewership that we had last month, 250,000 audience reach. We're getting to people, and it's because of you liking, subscribing, and sharing the shows. But if you go to cancelthisshow.com, you can click on our partners page. And when you do, you can see the ad rates that are right there for you. So once again, just click on that cancelthisshow.com and you can see those ad rates that are there. This is cancelthisshow.com. I'm Vic Faust with Lizzie Sparks and Projo. Rocking and rolling this podcast on a Monday. I believe, what is it, the 24th today?
I think so.
Yeah, the month going by.
Wow.
Super, super, super fast. And we're grateful that you're here with us. Okay. I wanted to do this right now because it absolutely blew my mind, guys. Absolutely blew my Jessica, I appreciate it. And before we get to it, Jessica says Glenn Beck does an amazing podcast on clones.
Yes, I've heard it.
Very interesting. Okay, Jamie Foxx. There has been a lot of talk about conspiracy theories regarding Jamie Foxx, that he was starting to share information about elitists in Hollywood, starting to share information about people, let's just say, that the movie Sound of Freedom's about. How about we use that as a word? Where he was starting to share information. Then all of a sudden, he gets really sick on deathbed, and nobody knows what's going on. We hadn't seen Jamie Foxx for a very long time publicly. And then all of a sudden, he reappears. And I'm sorry, when I first saw the picture, I was like, there ain't no way in hell that's Jamie Foxx. Well, If you haven't seen the pictures, check it out. Okay. Jamie Foxx now reemerging from the hospital, thanking God for his recovery.
He just looks like, to me, maybe it's not the same person, but he just looks like, to me, somebody that's been very, very ill, like maybe had cancer or something. I
mean, that's how I would expect him to look.
He could have lost 40 pounds.
Yes. That's what I think.
So do you is that the same person?
The color of his face looks different, but that could also be the lighting.
How does the shape of your head change?
Well, I mean, when you lose weight, I mean, you lose it everywhere, not just...
No, but the
shape
but
of
the
his
cranial
head is
structure,
different.
the skeleton doesn't change. You just get what we joked about in the past, the Ozempic face. But the bone structure,
depending on your nutrition, your actual skull can. This is this is my personal, but I don't have a problem believing that that's Jamie Foxx, especially if somebody's really trying to clone him. The freckles and all the blemishes that they match. So they're doing a great job trying to clone him.
Well, isn't that sad that today we have to even worry about that? Is that the real person? Is not the person? All of that.
Well, yeah, and all this could be AI I mean,
it could be. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I try not to get into conspiracy theories, but that, to me, there is no way in hell that's the same person. And I go all to the shape of the head.
Yeah, the shape of his head is different. I'm looking at his nose that looks the same.
I didn't even look at the other things.
The shape of his eyes are kind of different too.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's his cousin. I don't know. But what was wrong with him? I don't know that I was ever clear as to what was even wrong with him. Do we know?
We don't know. As one of our viewers said, the poison police got to him.
Right. That's
I don't
what
know
I
exactly
thought too.
what that means either, but
that just means he took and
Jeannie says it looks like him, that you can tell he's been very sick. It's very possible.
Yeah.
Aaron says, I think it's him. He just looks terrible because
don't say the word. Because his
cupcake 2 damn near killed him.
Yep. I think that's what you're supposed to think for sure.
I can't. Yeah, but the ears are different.
So wait, the cupcake, doesn't it change things genetically?
Allegedly.
So,
yes, I've heard that. And look, that could change it a little bit for sure.
That could explain
explain it.
Problems.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And like Donna's saying, no makeup. And and that's true. People look different with no makeup. But listen to what we're doing. Because of the thing, the cupcake and all of that, we're like now questioning, okay, could he have gotten sick from that? Or
Todd's saying cupcakes can reshape your skull.
Well, especially if you eat a whole bunch of them.
I hope you're being sarcastic.
Ugh. I don't know. I've read an article once, and I wish I could pull that up, that it does change the way your body is changed. I don't know if they mean the skull, but I don't know. Even the sad that we're thinking about it. Well, and Jessica's asking, what is he diagnosed with? I don't know that I have ever heard. I just have heard that because he took, and ate a lot of cupcakes in his arm, that this is what happened. It was like the third cupcake he ate.
His skin tone changed too.
Correct. Yeah. Jay saying cloning. And that's funny that we even have to say that, because look at all the pictures you see of people that you can make yourself. You can go on the computer yourself and make yourself look different. You can do that. There's so many filters now, and maybe somebody did that to him. I don't know. I've heard.
I'm still looking at that.
The real rabbit hole I've heard is that he's dead and this isn't even him. But I'm hearing a lot of it. This one's dead, that one's dead, and they're not really. Mary's also saying a stroke, and a stroke does change the way a person looks. So
for sure, yeah.
For sure. I had one in 2008 and I looked different.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea.
I did. I went to a chiropractor and he adjusted my neck and it made me have a stroke. And so for a little bit, I did look different. Now I look the way I did, just probably older, but that was 14 years ago. And when I look back at pictures now, I look a little different. I don't know that my whole skull changed. It's just I had droopy mouth and stuff. So I don't know.
Well, okay. I looked at our and for our listeners to the podcast, we were showing pictures of Jamie Foxx. Check him out if you can. You can go to canceltheshow.com and get your opinion on it. I'm just curious, what would someone actually get out of cloning Jamie Foxx? To keep Jamie Foxx quiet.
I believe
because
that
he
too.
started to be unquiet
Yes.
before he got sick.
Correct. On trafficking, correct? Wasn't that why he was?
It was one of the issues.
Yeah.
He also started to talk about certain people in Hollywood, alleging that he was maybe, let's just say, assaulted or was brought to be assaulted by certain people. These are just rumors out there by, a man named Quincy. And
Correct.
that arguably the best, most popular female talk show host of all time was involved in some way. And I talk around it just from the standpoint of you never know what kind of algorithm regarding the situation is there. And I'm sorry, it just is what it is. It is what it is.
You as the listener has to read.
Jay says,
they do have
always
to
a
read between the
conspiracy. It's
lines.
kind of ridiculous sometimes. Maybe. Yeah, you're right, Jay. I mean, it
he's
could be.
right. He's right.
But I thought it was worth bringing up. It is interesting. Why not other people who haven't been saying anything, but it's the person who started to share light on stuff. And then all of a sudden, those are the people who get sick. I don't know. It just was very, very interesting. Yes, Anne Heche was a incredible story about her death. I saw the body bag moving as she was put into an ambulance. I saw it myself. We showed it on this show. We talked about the celebrities and people who brought up trafficking and or were working on documentaries about it to expose all disappear or pass away. And then, of course, Snopes goes and says, no, it's not true.
Correct.
So Mary says, it's weird. It's so secretive. Did he do drugs? I don't know.
I don't know if he did either, but you're right, Vic. There's so many people that were bringing things to light that might incriminate somebody high up in politics or in Hollyweird. And so then all of a sudden they're unalived or they disappear or you don't know what happened to them or they look like Jamie Foxx looks like he's been beat in the head a couple times.
I don't know. I
don't know either. But
the whole issue when I saw that I was like, there's no way in hell that could be the same situation. No way that's him. But then again, that kind of stuff can make you talk. Your conspiracy theory, cupcakes added to the equation. Does that become an issue as well with everything that's going on? Of course. Is this Jamie Foxx?
Yeah.
Hell, we don't know.
We don't know. We don't know.
I'm still looking at pictures of Biden going, damn, there's 4 different pictures of him and they look different. 4 of them. So I'm like, damn, that looks different.
Right.
Now you can go to bad plastic surgeons or you can get bad Botox. Of course, you need to go to Estetica. My friend Tasha Freund, who takes care of me. She's the best, Estetica Med Spa in Lake St. Louis. And you won't look like a worse person.
Well, that's true. Like, look at Kenny Rogers. He was a pretty good looking man. And then he got so much stuff done. You couldn't even tell it was him.
Yeah. I didn't know if he disclosed it, Les. That's a great question. I don't know if he did. But anyway, that's the Jamie Foxx issue. If you hear people talking about what's going on with him, we pray it's him. We pray he's as healthy as he can be and that everything's on the up and up. We just thought the pictures looked very, very different. And he's being very, very quiet as well. And everything that started before. Yeah, Jason, Michael Jackson. I agree. I'm still wondering about Michael Jackson myself. I know I can sound crazy for bringing it up, but
I've always thought that about Michael Jackson.
That's kind of how I feel.
He was getting ready to start a tour that was going to go worldwide.
Yes, it was.
Was he really?
Yeah.
He was.
Gosh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. We had never seen him and we were ready. So as soon as the ticket sales went out, one of my daughters just loves him and we wanted to go. And then, and then he passed away.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. This is cancelthisshow.com. He is being very quiet. I'm Vic Faust with Lizzie Sparks and Projo running the board Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. And all the time on cancelthisshow.com. You can check out all of our original content as well. And of course, go to our website, click on partners, and you can become a partner with the show. The ad rates are there. Let us know. We would love to do everything we possibly could to find some sort of package that would work for you. Or if there's something you want to get involved with the show, if you know a business partner that wants to try us out, we would love that as well. Sally says Rona McDaniel is using the RNC money all for her Botox.
Oh my gosh, Sally, that is so funny. Sally is funny. Oh my gosh, that's a good one.
I love it as well. And more serious news, we talk about America and Pride in America and the Jason Aldean story and the Team USA Soccer. This all comes on the heels of a story that was just done by the Wall Street Journal, talking about statistics that have been put out now. Number one, Democrats surveyed by an overwhelming margin say they don't trust local police to do the job. They say that they're not going to do it, that they're in cahoots with some sort of right-wing agenda to come after them. That's what liberals say, according to their polling. Republicans, on the other hand, by an overwhelming amount, say the FBI needs to be done away with. You can't trust any branch of government. We're talking about overall loss of trust and the FBI in under 5 years, between 15 and 20%.
Yes.
It's the lowest figure, the fastest to drop in the history of our country. And we wonder why. We see FBI Director Chris Wray refusing to answer questions in Congress, being very, let's say, gray and puzzling in his answers. We have seen what the FBI has done. We have seen how they have been weaponized. The Department of Justice being weaponized by Joe Biden and the administration. I'm sorry, if you disagree, give us an opinion why. Tell us why they haven't with what we have seen now, trying to take out his number one opponent, that being, of course, Donald Trump. So 15% there. Also, now, less than a third, like under 30% of all Americans now trust the federal government.
Do you trust the federal government?
Not right now, no.
No, I don't either.
No, not at all.
I don't
not
either.
with what we have seen.
No.
However, if you don't trust the federal government, but yet you still sit back and you're just like, oh, everything's fine and it's comfortable, those two don't pair well.
No, they don't.
That in time, those two running side by side are not going to end well for you, for us, for anybody in this country. Because if you don't trust what's going on, but you just kind of live your everyday life like, oh, well, nothing to be seen here, nothing to do, eventually your good, comfortable life will be taken away.
Correct.
It just blew my mind that those totals were so high. The Wall Street Journal points to the fact of what's going to happen in this country if Americans don't get, quote, more involved, if the FBI does not do something to change their way, if local police departments don't. However, I'm still waiting for somebody to show me how local police are not doing their job. I'm sorry.
Right, I agree with
you. You
that.
have situations every now and then, but give me a break when it comes to the blue and what we see and the statistics that are released. Show us how they're not. And they don't get enough respect. Their job is a 100-fold, and we all know they're not being compensated how they should be.
Exactly. And the only people that I know.
Oh, and by the way, they may take a bullet or get hit by a car today when they go to work.
Correct. It's very sad. And then some of them go to jail for it too. They go to jail for trying to protect you because they have to shoot someone and they go to jail. And it's very sad. And I know that there's people that I'm surprised that do not trust law enforcement locally even. And the reason why they say they don't understand the difference. They'll say, look what the Capitol Police did in DC. So why aren't the police going to do that here? Well, they're two different entities. Literally, the DC police are federalized. The rest of the police officers in the United States are local municipality run.
Yeah, we have a guest coming on maybe this week. I'm talking to him. He's been on our show before to talk about what Jay just brought up. Cashless bail in Illinois, now called the most dangerous law in the country. Once again, let me repeat it for you.
Scary.
Cashless bail in the state of Illinois, called the most dangerous law in the country. I cannot even believe that we're at a point where somebody could do something and, hey, you don't have to stay until bail's there. We'll let you right back out, especially if something horrible has happened or if there's some sort of fighting and you haven't even had time to cool down either. David says local Leos are unsung heroes as well. And then Jessica says, I have quite a few Republican friends, but their eyes are literally wide shut. They're so in the dark. It sucks. But if you try to explain that to people, it may fall on deaf ears. Be grateful that you see that you're enlightened and that you can try to do something about it. It just hurts when you talk or try to talk to people that may not see it, because there's no way you're going to force people. Projo went through a situation like this, and he came to his own state of I guess, awareness. Would that be fair to say just a couple of years ago? And it wasn't going to be because somebody was trying to force him to do something.
Right. Yeah, no. And it was nothing that anybody could have just told me straight out. I had to see it for myself before I could actually believe what I was seeing.
And what was it specifically? I know you've said it before in the show, but for new listeners,
because you were a hardcore liberal Democrat, right?
I wouldn't say hardcore. I've always kind of teetered in the middle of everything. However, I definitely leaned a little more on the left side. If I had voted, I probably would have voted for Biden. We'll just put it that way. However, at the time, I didn't feel like there was any good choice. So I was one of the people who didn't vote at all. However, seeing how our establishment has dealt with the cupcake, that really kind of brought everything around to me. Just watching that stuff closely, that was enough.
Yeah, there was a lot of dishonesty that was put out there,
right,
over and over and over again.
Yes.
Shut up and listen. Don't ask questions. If you ask questions or even try to bring up the other side, something's wrong with you.
Yeah, that was my main thing, the sticky poke.
Yeah. I like that. Yes, I can understand that for sure.
Yeah, and also regarding that polling that was done by the Wall Street Journal, only 17% of Republicans surveyed say that they support the FBI in some way. I mean, people are solidified. They are. Now, I know there's a middle ground and people say that they're in the middle. They're not. I'm sorry. They're just not.
You almost can't be in the middle.
They're not. It's and you know what? I go back to Donald Trump on this, and people can agree or disagree. He called people out.
He sure did.
For the first time. And it's like, it's almost as if, whether you like it or not, agree with it or not, he forced people into corners.
He did.
And it's like, hey, no more of this lukewarm bullshit. It's either you're coming with us or you're not. You're on the team or you're not. And that's why the left hates him so much, I feel as if, because he kind of just, he took that water that was just kind of sitting there and he came in and he splashed it all around.
He sure did.
And it's like, okay, dare I say, try to drain the swamp?
Yes. And it wasn't drained because he didn't have enough time. But boy, he sure exposed who each little swamp monster was.
And coming from the story that we were just talking about into Donald Trump and everything that continues to go on with him, latest polling numbers from Iowa, 46% say they're going to vote for him. 16% for DeSantis. And if you haven't seen it yet, and once again, this isn't DeSantis bashing, it's just it's a check of reality. I see DeSantis now making more and more appearances with his wife. I saw this as desperate because he first came out by himself. It didn't work. Now he's bringing his wife and it's not working. Even Tim Scott up to 11% in Iowa. Yeah. That is a huge, huge rise for Tim Scott. Good for him. Let's go to South Carolina, Tim Scott's home state as well. We're talking about 48% for Donald Trump. The next closest, second place in the state of South Carolina, not DeSantis, Nikki Haley.
And that is
in second place over. But here's the thing, only 14%.
Yeah.
Donald Trump, 48%. Nikki Haley in second at 14%. She's the damn former governor of the state.
Right.
She's only getting 14%.
Yeah.
DeSantis, third place at 13%. And then Tim Scott from South Carolina, like down the line.
Right. Yeah.
So it goes to show again where all of this goes, where people don't trust, they do trust. You need to get some sort of situation going on where somebody's going to rile it up. And Donald Trump did that when he separated the sides, which gets into the America, which kind of gets into what we've been talking about all day, people's lack of trust. What are you going to do? How are you going to do this? What side are you going to go on to? But he continues to dominate. I mean, absolutely dominate all polling.
Correct.
Thankfully, it was a quiet weekend. We didn't hear a lot.
No, it was pretty quiet. Yeah, it was quiet. You didn't hear him say too much.
But we continue to see all of this crap that's being thrown against the wall, all of this stuff that's out there. And it's not good for Biden. It's not good for the Democrats. And it continues to get worse, especially now when you have professors. And I'm sorry, this is my going after Harvard again. You've got professors from the East Coast and the West Coast now literally urging Biden to defy what are called mistaken rulings by the Supreme Court. And they're calling it a MAGA Supreme Court. These are professors that are literally penning open letters to the president and teaching kids that the Supreme Court and their decisions are wrong. And if their decisions are wrong, you must defy. Calling out the president of the United States. And they probably feel as if they can, because we all know people can bully Joe Biden. And as I've been saying here for at least 2 or 3 months, Joe Biden will not be running in the election. There's no way. There's no way in hell the Democrats are going to put that man up for election. There's no way. It's the dumbest thing they could possibly do. Have I not been saying that for months?
You've been saying that the whole time, actually.
There's no way. There is no way in hell they can put that man out there.
No.
I know that they tried to act as if they're going to run him when they're like, well, we're not going to give him a debate. He's not going to debate. Like RFK couldn't debate him.
Correct. And they're saying he's not going to debate, just the same reason Trump's not going to debate, because they're so high up in the polling that it doesn't matter. And I even saw Fox talking about they thought that Trump should not even debate. That's okay. Should not even debate because maybe he could screw up and say something and just leave it alone.
He's too Trump.
Yeah, he is too Trump. He's going to say something.
No, and on the heels of that too, we also heard that now there's talk of doing a one-on-one with Tucker Carlson.
Yes.
The night of the GOP debate.
I hope he does. Wouldn't that be great? Oh man, which one would you watch?
What do you think?
Yeah, well, I'm just asking.
Brilliance.
It is brilliance.
It's complete brilliance.
Yes.
The Joe Biden situation is sad just because we know how he is and what's happened with everything that's going on there. But these professors, this scares the hell out of me. And we've talked about the college situation before, but you've got big bad Harvard law professor Mark Tushnet and San Francisco State University political scientist Aaron Belkin talking and penning an open letter to the Biden administration called Popular Constitutionalism. They say, quote, "We urge President Biden to restrain MAGA justices immediately by announcing that if and when these rulings that are based on gravely mistaken interpretations of the Constitution, that which will undermine our most fundamental commitments, and the administration will be guided by its own constitutional interpretations." Yeah. Make up. Yeah, my thoughts exactly.
Yeah, for sure. I would like to sit in a room with him for 10 minutes. And I just want to see, number one, if he's real. And number two, I want to ask him, hey, who's talking in your earpiece? Who is it? And he's so far gone. I think if I could just get him in the room, not that he would, for 5 minutes, I could find out what's really going on. I would love to do that.
So these professors are at really good institutions say, don't listen to the Supreme Court. You just kind of interpret how you will. Interpret. We heard some of this bullshit first coming from AOC. When you're uneducated and you don't like something, you just go I don't like that, so I'm not going to deal with it. Unfortunately, we see this from the left. We don't see it from the right. We just haven't. The letter goes on to say, these two professors, one from Harvard, one from San Francisco State, quote, "We have worked diligently over the past 5 years to advocate Supreme Court expansion as a necessary strategy for restoring democracy." This is outside the quote. Yeah, we've talked about that before. Democrats don't like it, so they want to change the rules. Although we continue to support expansion, the threat that MAGA justices pose is so extreme that reforms do not require congressional approval. They are needed at this time. And advocates and experts should encourage President Biden to take immediate action to limit the damage. What?
That is crazy. That is crazy. Higher institutions as it is,
they're calling it popular constitutionalism, and that's why it should be. So get ready to hear that word. Can we try to get ahead of the stories here and break it down from every angle? Popular constitutionalism. Forget judges. And we've heard about judges, quote, managing and directing and legislating from their bench instead of looking at laws that are already on the books. This is scary. to me, it's absolutely scary, and it should concern Americans.
Yes, it should.
Because everything that you know and you see and have grown to know in America, if you don't like it, well, we're just going to change it. We don't need to do that anymore. We're going to change it. Well, we don't like that rule, that law, anything. We're going to change it because that's what we feel like we need to do to get ahead. We don't need to listen to you. Let's do this. Let's change the laws and then tell everybody else they're intolerant if they don't agree with us. Let's do what we want. And then if people don't like what we like, let's call them intolerant. Even though we don't like them and we won't follow their set, we'll call them what we are, intolerant. Harvard, and I believe that was San Francisco State University, professors getting in together to say that this is what needs to happen.
It is scary when you think about you're going to send your kid off. And I know a lot of people sending their kids off to college, and you have to educate them and educate them and educate them what they're going to get indoctrinated into so they don't come back an asshole. I mean, you really have to talk to them about that.
Coming back an asshole?
Yeah. Yeah, kids, they do. I mean, you can take your kid and who's just a great kid, just does normal day-to-day things, and you've educated them. And then when they go to college, they come back, and I'm speaking from experience. Only one of mine did because I didn't prepare that way. He came back an asshole. I mean, the most hateful, ugly kid because I was wrong about everything. His dad was wrong about everything, and Midwest values are awful. Now he's 31 and he's fine, and he doesn't act like that at all. But, I pulled that kid right out of college and said, you're going to go to college around here, and I'm going to watch what you're saying because you're a jerk. And that's what happens. I know so many people that their kids go away, just what I would quote a normal kid, and they come back they just act rude and haughty, and they take everything their professors say to them, and then they act like they're the one that is correct, and yet these college students can't even pay their own bills, and yet you're wrong.
It makes you wonder if kids are actually naturally inclined to be rebellious, or whether that was indoctrination.
Correct. I mean, there's some of that too, that kids come back and they don't want to be back in the house, and you impose some rules and that sort of thing. And they could be using the college professor as just a crutch. So it's probably a combination of the two. So I know I say my least favorite age that children are is when they're a freshman in college. That's the only time I don't like my children.
I just wanted to put one more quote onto this. You also had a George Washington University professor going against what these professors are saying and saying, quote, what is most striking about these professors is how they continue to claim they are defenders of democracy, yet seek to use unilateral executive authority to defy the courts. And in cases like the tuition forgiveness and affirmative action, the majority of the public, they remain the privileged elite of academia, declaring their values as transcending both constitutional and democratic processes. That's coming from George Washington University law professor and legal expert Jonathan Turley. Just be prepared. Just know that regardless of the Supreme Court decisions, you have a group of people and educators who are trying to say and teach kids you don't need to do this, which is why you need to teach the kids the proper way when you have an opportunity, and be very aware of where they're going and what they're learning as best as you possibly can, or it won't be long before everything changes in a faster moment, just like Lizzie was talking about that she dealt with her son.
Correct. And, and parents just don't understand at that age. They just don't.
I watched it happen to my daughter too. I said that at the University of Missouri. She's starting to come back in questions. So we've gotten her back to middle.
Well, and that's good. If they're still even in the middle, in their mid-20s, you're doing a great job. Though when they start getting real big paychecks or good paychecks and the taxes are ripped out of them, that alone will
you want kids to be mature, but to be able to think for themselves.
Correct.
Not just be little clones, but you want them to understand why they feel why they do.
Correct.
And you hope that comes with maturity. And it's not just going to come from just walking around. You're actually going to have to take an assertive effort to care. Something has to happen to you in your life that you're actually going to care. Our friend Eric was more liberal and a Democrat until he owned a business. And he's like, as he told us, he was like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? These taxes? Are you kidding me?
Yes.
What the, you mean Democrats want to do this? I'm heading this way for Republicans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those kind of things have to happen in your life before you start to change what's happening.
Yes. Very true.
This is cancelthisshow.com. I'm Vic Faust with Lizzie Sparks, Projo. We appreciate you guys jumping in every day, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central, and all the time on cancelthisshow.com. All of our original content in our library right there for you. Please like, subscribe, go to our webpage. You can see all the places where we are live, where you can watch us. Everything's taped for our podcast on the audio. You can send it to people as well. And of course, when you go to our partners page, you can certainly click on our ad rates and send those to people. It is expensive to do what we do, the studio, everything that's going on here. And we're grateful. If you know of businesses that want to give us a shot, see if it would work for them as well, just let us know. Please check out cancelthisshow.com, click on our partners page, and you've got info on the ad rates right there as well. Appreciate you popping that up, Projo. Okay, we have to get into this because we've talked a lot of UFOs on this show.
Yes.
As we do this story, Joe, Lizzie, we believe that there's UFOs, right? All of us or not?
I have no idea, but I think there definitely are. Yes. I'm going to say yes. I've never seen one, but yes.
Alien life?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Are they fallen angels?
I
don't know that they're fallen angels. That's just
Demons?
my opinion. I think they could be. They could be demons. And they don't have to look like what we think they look like. They could be something totally different than that.
Well, here you go. The U.S. panel, the House panel to hold the first public hearing on extraterrestrials are now questioning following a whistleblower claim of intact alien vehicles. Their quote is, quote, "We're done with the cover-up." This is what the claims are to Congress. So this is after a series of disclosures in recent months. However, Republicans and Democrats now are lining up together. When you got Chuck Schumer working with Marco Rubio. Now, is it a ploy? Is it a plot? Is it to take our attention away from something? I have no idea. However, this next week, the House Oversight Committee is going to hold its first public hearing as part of its investigation into UFOs. And this is weeks after the whistleblower, the former intelligence officer, went public with claims that the government has possession of intact and partially intact alien vehicles.
So let me get this straight. The government is finally deciding to be honest.
Right.
I don't believe it.
See, I don't either.
That makes me not want to believe.
Me too. And did you say Chuck Schumer was involved in that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You lost me at Chuck Schumer.
But it could be a popular thing for him to. His ratings are in the tank as well.
Oh, they are, and that's why I don't know if there's ETs going around or UFOs or whatever. I'd like to see one for sure. But as soon as you mentioned Chuck Schumer, I'm like, I'm out. Because I don't believe a word he says.
Okay, but what about Marco Rubio?
I'm iffy on that dude too.
Well,
I'm just kind of iffy on him. I think he only says things when he's not relevant, and then him teaming up with Chuck Schumer. Now I'm like, okay, here's two fairly irrelevant people now wanting to talk to us about UFOs and aliens and stuff.
I'm on board right now, Lizzie, and I'll tell you why.
Well, good.
Because the whistleblower is David Grush. And he came out with his allegations last week that the government was harboring alien craft. So he's since suggested that the U.S. also has encountered alien pilots. So this sparked the July 26 hearing that's going to happen on Wednesday. So, initially Republicans were leading the charge, Marco Rubio, but now Democrats have jumped on as well.
Something's fishy.
Yeah, I think so too.
What do you mean?
It just
they're hiding something.
Well, Paulina Luna, Republican from Florida, said that she's been stonewalled. Federal officials are stonewalling her and the committee when they're just asking questions about UFOs. Says that they're preventing from even accessing information on anything. Information to prove that they do exist. She says, quote, "We've had a heck of a lot of pushback about this hearing. There are a lot of people who don't want this to come to light."
Yeah. Jeannie's even saying she loves UFO stuff, but not so much with Schumer. I think most conservatives
But the conservatives are still leading the charge, though.
Which conservatives, though? I mean,
Paulina, Marco Rubio. I don't think it matters which conservatives, though. I mean, I know it probably does for some.
Well, I hope something comes.
This is a hearing Wednesday. It's a public hearing. I mean,
that's okay. Well, I want to listen to it for sure. You sparked my interest enough. I want to listen to it.
And Grush is going to appear at the hearing on Wednesday at the end of it.
Okay.
He's also going to be there with a guy named David Fravor, a former Navy commander who reported seeing a strange object in the sky when he was on a training mission in 2004. And we know that there have been several of those sightings by Navy pilots and people over the waters. Graves told 60 Minutes 2 years ago in a show that, yes, he had seen unidentified aerial phenomenon. Those are also known as UAPs, the same thing as UFOs, off the Atlantic coast. And he said he saw it every day for at least a couple of years. Every day.
I can't say that, all this is true or not. However, one thing is for certain is that our freedoms are going to suffer because of this.
Wait a minute. Elaborate.
I just feel like our government being honest about something means that
they're not being honest yet.
Well, okay, not yet. But I mean, like them coming out saying, even entertaining this idea makes me feel like eventually our freedoms are going to be at risk.
Maybe this is the way to get Joe Biden to keep him where he is.
And I agree with you.
Martial law.
It's to keep us in place again, stay in our houses, don't go out. There's aliens in the sky. Yeah, they're I think you're spot on. They're trying to think of anything they can to control us again because we're back to not being controlled again.
Lockdowns for UFOs. I could see it.
I could see it.
Oh, yeah,
Kathy says exactly.
Yeah.
We can't get them to do the sticky poke, but we can keep them in their house.
Todd says military training on reverse UFO engineering, quite possibly, and especially if you have the technology.
Yep. And make sure you wear that mask because the UFOs are going to come and spray gross juice all in the air. So put that mask on and go back in your house.
Schumer will say aliens stole the election. Vote from home.
Oh, that's funny. Sally, you are on a roll today, girl.
All of this coming out, is it a coincidence right before the next election? They want you to chip children and you because you just don't know.
Correct.
Is something really going to be brought to light? I'm just saying all of this, the fact that they're continuing on with these conferences, I think it's big. I really do, regardless of the attention that it may or may not get. The pilot, or Burchett, said that he went on to claim that the U.S. has been hiding evidence of UFOs since 1947 and speculated that the extraterrestrial craft could be dangerous as well. He says, quote, if they're out there, they're out there. And if they have this kind of technology, then they could turn us into a charcoal briquette. And by the way,
they could have done that a long time ago.
Rockwood Charcoal has the best charcoal anywhere. You can check them out at cancelthisshow.com as well.
They're made of humans.
They're all over the country. We promote them as well. Once again, Jonathan Heslop, Rockwood Charcoal, bringing that in. He also goes on to say if they can travel light years or at the speeds that we have seen and physics as we know it, fly underwater, don't show a heat trail, things like that, then we are vastly out of our league. But he's not the only person. There's so many people who've lined up. Republican Congressman Mike Gallagher from Wisconsin. We talked about Marco Rubio from Florida. And then the Democrats, Kirsten Gillibrand. She's maintained a long-time interest in UAP. She's weighed in on it as well. Donald Trump's did. Josh Hawley has been all over this. He claims the U.S. is downplaying the number of UFO sightings. Hawley says this stuff's going on. We need to know as well. So, I mean, there are a lot of big names from both parties jumping in, wanting to know what the hell's going on.
Well, I can't wait to see. And
the first hearing will be Wednesday. You never know. I mean, if you hype it up, I mean, is it going to be big? Is it not? Are you going to get any information? How do you get information? And then if you have politicians from both parties going after it, eventually you probably get something.
I hope we get something because they've been talking about this for years and nothing has ever materialized.
Well, I feel as if we started to get more of this in the last 2 years.
I would agree with that. And why do you think that is?
Because of Blink-182, Tom DeLonge, the lead singer, because he forced the government to admit.
He forced them.
I'm a big Blink-182 fan. Angels and Airwaves, Tom DeLonge. I was at his concert in St. Louis it was like four years ago, maybe, when this all came out. And it was the day that the Navy admitted, or they had to turn over work. Tom DeLonge had a separate company. They had an effort to try to get information released, and they did that day. And he just happened to be playing at the pageant in St. Louis. It's the
first, cool!
And during his first break,
that's
the first thing he talked about. Like everybody started cheering.
I
was
bet
like,
they did. I bet
damn.
they did. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, sorry to bring into that, but
No,
I like
that's
to tell those
good.
stories. Way to go, Tom.
Good job, Tom.
I don't want to talk politics with Tom, but I do agree with his UFO, UAP stuff that we've got going on. Amy says Travis Barker is the shiz. I agree. So we'll keep you posted on what happens with that stuff coming up on Wednesday. Do we want to have some fun? Let's have some fun more.
Yeah,
Check out
let's
this.
have fun.
Check out the Biden. Okay. Have we missed any other videos today besides the Biden?
No, I think we got them all.
Your fingers were probably rubbed raw from punching the button
calluses
with all the videos today. Okay, we just thought this would be kind of funny. I mean, look at a map and look at Joe Biden's face, and we'll play this a couple times. They are alleging Montana looks like Joe Biden sniffing Idaho. I can't unsee this now. Here it is.
Oh my
gosh.
Can you just keep playing? Can you play that? I got to see that because it's so quick. Joe Biden face
sniffing.
I mean, does that not look like Joe Biden?
Yes, that is Joe Biden.
Can we stop it right there when he gets there too again, Projo?
Oh my gosh. That's good. That is good. Oh
Joe
my
Biden
gosh.
is sniffing Idaho.
Oh
my God.
Oh, that is so good. Oh my
Okay.
gosh. It's sick and funny at the same
no,
time.
you can't make this stuff up,
You
though.
can't. You cannot make it up.
Now, we saw his chomping video from last week as well.
Yes, yes.
Projo, that's really good stuff right there.
Oh.
He's locked in. I don't know why I find that so funny.
Because it is.
Am I the only one?
Because
I mean,
it is. No, it is funny.
I can't,
it is funny.
I can't. It's one of the first things I'll look at a
Oh.
map is Joe Biden stuffing his face into Idaho.
And Aaron said Portland is jealous.
Oh my God.
Portland is jealous. That is great, Aaron. That is great.
I mean, look at that. Look at him right there.
Gosh. Oh, that dude is sick. I mean, did you ever think we would sink so
Amy
low
says,
as our
Joe
president sniffing?
baby.
Oh, that is the craziest
Jay says
thing
some
ever.
people have way too much free time. Yes, they do.
They do.
But that's why we have this show, so we can focus on them. I don't know who did this, but that's one of the best things
That's good.
that I've seen with old Joe popping his face all back in there and getting excited.
Yes, yes.
Can we hear it with the music again? More? Every breath you take.
Every breath you take.
Oh my gosh.
All right. It's good
Oh,
stuff.
That is good stuff. That's really good
This
stuff.
is cancelthisshow.com. Hey, Lizzie, can you let people know about our guest a little bit more tomorrow?
I can. Lori Johnson is going to be here in the second hour, right in between 9 and 9:15. And she has literally been through a mass shooting where she was just driving down the highway, coming from Georgia, visiting her daughter. And when she was kind of gotten into a standstill, and I won't go into it too much longer because she can tell the story, she literally was just shot right through the window. And what she didn't know at the time, he had already murdered and killed other people and then killed other people after her. She's one of the, I think she might be the only one that survived. And her story is just horrific. It's horrific how it happened, who did it, what they were doing. And it was a man that was coming back. Here's the irony of the best part of it. She's from the St. Louis area. The BLM guy is from the St. Louis area, but they were both down south and she was visiting her daughter.
Wow.
And he was at a BLM rally, like rallying all the people to be all Black Lives Matters. Then I'm going to let her tell the rest of the story because you won't even believe it. And she's just driving back and gets shot and has gone through hell on so many levels. And just the psychology of it is awful, but physically and through court systems, it's awful, truly. It's truly awful.
So
it's terrifying.
what's her name again?
Her name is Lori Johnson.
All right, we'll have Lori on tomorrow. And then Thursday, we have another interesting guest, too. If you want to preview that, especially with what's happening in this country, appears to be happening in this country now.
Yes, his name is John. And this is going to show if any of you have an interesting story. He's from Texas and he listens to the show and he's got all kinds of things that he knows that he gave me a whole agenda of such interesting things to talk about that has to do with, gosh, I don't even want to tell all the things he has to say because there's so much, and you guys do not want to miss it.
Well, the one that blew me away was Nazism.
Yes, Nazism.
And being pushed forward.
Yes.
In this country.
Correct. He can get very, explicit about how he feels that Nazism is being pushed in this country right now.
Yeah, which is scary in itself. We look forward to that. Of course, we have our same Wednesday. And of course, looking to have some fun on Friday with our Free for All Friday segment. We're still working on that. If you guys have ideas or anybody, of course, as always, just let us know. We'll do our best to put the best things that we can possibly push forward with that. A couple other things that we just talked about today. As I look down the sheet, things we may have forgotten about. Jim Jordan says, Representative Jim Jordan, Republican, Representative Jim Jordan says that impeachment is imminent.
Yes.
For Merrick Garland. That could be a big story. I wanted to wait and see till we have more.
Yes. See what's going on today.
More meat on that story. But if Jim Jordan's saying that impeachment is imminent.
Yes.
For Merrick Garland. As he runs the DOJ. Are you kidding me? That's big. That could be another big story that's coming on. And I was talking about it a little bit earlier. Biden administration is now proposing a ban on the sale of portable gas generators.
Wow.
That is a fact. I just checked that again. To me, it says one thing: total compliance on the government. If something else happens, why? Why in the hell would you propose a ban on the sale of portable gas generators?
Correct. Control.
Be careful about where you get your news from, because I don't think the country is going to be telling you all about that, even though they should be telling you all about that.
But they're not.
And we started to see Cori Bush, for the first 6 months of the year, paid her security $17,500, which is her husband or her boyfriend, an extra $17,500.
Correct.
And that's on top of the $12,000 that comes with the salary. Yet she says she is still all about defunding police. So she was making some national news over the weekend doing that. And we'll end on a very positive note. Sound of Freedom has now gone over $100 million and continues to have people going and showing up at the theaters, despite some other big releases at the same time, like Mission Impossible, Oppenheimer, the Barbie movie. I mean, there's a lot of choices out there right now, and movies that are being heavily marketed. Sound of Freedom's marketing has all been social media, grassroots effort, over $100 million. And I remember it being under $10 million to make, which blows my mind. So if you've seen it, incredible, everybody. And it also, by the way, on Rotten Tomatoes, has a 100% positive score.
Wow.
The director of the movie, Eduardo Versatigui, who I've talked to you about, posted that yesterday as well. So love it.
Good stuff.
Get that all out there. This is Cancel This. It's cancelthisshow.com. For Pro Joe and for Lizzie Sparks, I'm Vic Faust. Guys, thanks for making the show what it is. Thanks for jumping in. Thanks for supporting us. If you have ideas on how to make the show even better, let us know. If you know of advertisers, partners, people that may want to get involved, small businesses, either local or national, let us know. We'll talk to you about that. We'll find something that makes it work. Guys, have an awesome Monday. We hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have. We'll see you for the next podcast tomorrow.